Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. We've had a Q&A for the Asperia, Talon and Shriek, that new light fighter, and I wanted to look at what we know about the ship in a bit more context now. So the Talon and Shriek variant are planned to be released for Star Citizen Alpha 3.12 by the end of this year. The Talon is a no-nonsense light fighter with large Tavaran weapons for its size, so 2 size 4 hardpoints the standard Talon comes with, and that comes with, by default, gimbaled size 3 Tavaran ballistic cannons, as well as 2 size 3 missile hardpoints with a combined 4 size 2 missiles. The Shriek drops the gun hardpoints to 2 size 2s, coming with 2 size 1 gimbals, so much smaller guns with its Tavaran ballistic cannons, but it changes its missile racks to hold 24 size 3 missiles. That is a potentially ridiculous amount of missiles. The Talon is single-seater and has no usable interior space beyond the pilot's chair. It doesn't have a living quarters, nor a bed or anything like that. So how will the Talon differ from other light fighters? It sort of balances the firepower between a stock Gladius and Buccaneer, favouring fewer but larger weapons. The agility of the ship is between the Gladius and the Arrow, so pretty agile. It's often very much user preference between ships, so it fills a gap in the sort of lineup that promotes in-game choice. The Talon will handle better in atmosphere than it looks at first glance, due to its low weight and relatively aerodynamic wing profile. Though the ship does have stealth elements, the Talon is not a dedicated stealth ship like the Eclipse, and it is positioned as a ship with stealth features, so it sits between the Sabre and Ghost in terms of how stealthy it's supposed to be. Obviously, you can outfit it to be more stealthy in the same way that you can outfit the Ghost or the Sabre or any other ship to be more stealthy based on the actual systems that it has. The Talon is armed with Tavaran weapons by default, but are there any weapons that are locked to the hull? So the wing-mounted weapons that come with the Talon are Asperia recreations of Tavaran weapons, much like those found with the Prowler, and they can be swapped out for other standard weapons. The missile racks on the base Talon are swappable. However, the bespoke missile racks on the Shriek, the ones that hold the 24 size 3 missiles, cannot be changed. However, the missiles on them can be changed, so you can change for another set of missiles if you wish. We know there's lots of missile changes coming in the future. So with the Shriek, is it intended to be a stealthy missile ambusher? And if so, how many missiles is it going to be able to lock and launch simultaneously? So the Shriek's role could be described as a stealth missile ambusher. Compared to non-missile focused ships, it will be able to lock and launch more missiles when the revised missile locking system comes online in the future. Ultimately, the exact amount will be controlled by the ship's computer and can be upgraded via blades, so computer blades that you can put in your ship, though dedicated missile ships will support more by default. Is there an incoming missile mechanic rework that justifies the Shriek having 24 size 3 missiles? There are plans to not only bug fix but also improve missiles and countermeasures in an upcoming patch to give a much deeper level of gameplay rather than the current fire and forget approach. There are also plans for deeper missile and countermeasure gameplay, which extends to their use in e-warfare. The Talon and a few other ships are planned to utilise some new decoy countermeasures alongside flares and chaffs as well, including the Prowler and Vanguard Sentinel, which will make use of those decoys. What is the durability of the Talon like? We know it's a glass cannon, and dodging damage is key. It does have shields that will mitigate a lot of damage if used correctly though. The description seems to say that it's lightly armoured, but the brochure said it was medium armoured. What should we expect? The Talon is lightly armoured, like all light fighters. The brochure listing for medium armour was a mistake and has now been corrected apparently. Will the Talon have phalanx shields on release, and what do those actually do? At release, it will have the same shield behaviour as those currently equipped by the Prowler and Defender in-game, which feature phalanx shields in their design, so 100% ballistic absorption, so typically ballistics can penetrate through shields, but obviously not with those shields, and massively increased shield hardening ability. There are plans to push the abilities of phalanx shields further, but no additional details are available at this time, so it's sort of like know that you can put all of your power into one side of your shields and stuff like that is the idea. Shield harden and that sort of stuff on one of the sides of your shields. The Talon's cockpit is an escape pod as well, so you can fight on without worrying so much. So how will that escape pod function? And will it be functional in the December release, or will it be later on? At minimum, they want it to function like all other ejection seats to start with in that 3.12 patch, except forward firing instead of vertically. When the ability for ejection pods to be fully set up are available, they will be updated appropriately to support that functionality. Will players have any control over the cockpit after an ejection? The ejected cockpit is not controllable like a parasite ship and should be thought more of like an escape pod in that it fires out of the ship for a period of time in a predetermined direction. So it's not a little shuttle you can fly around or anything, it is very much an escape pod. It's supposed to save your life rather than give you functionality after it's ejected. So the brochure hints at it having an air shield or air shield tech for the Talon. Is that for the interior? How does that work? The cockpit does seal itself after an ejection with air shields is the idea there. So you don't have to worry about it depressurizing when the escape pod's launched. I would have hoped that would have been the case with most escape pods anyway. So there you have it. The Talon should fit nicely into the light fighter category. Missile changes are incoming as well. Very, very excited for that. Though I do feel that the Shrike may still be a bit of a powerhouse for alpha striking, even with a load of missile changes and balance. It's not going to be something that you'll potentially want to take on for like a long escort job, where you might be fighting a lot of ships over a prolonged period of time. But if you're ambushing someone, if you're attacking an installation, if you are fighting players, then the ability to fire a load of missiles or lots of missiles in each encounter until you run out might be pretty powerful. The Talon and Shrike are both available for between $90 and $100 currently, which is surprisingly cheap for an alien and exotic ship from Cloud Imperium. Don't know when that sale's ending yet, but maybe a week or so more. We'll have to wait and see. Typically, those sort of ships are much more overpriced than that because of the exotic tax that they sort of put on them. I think that they will be reasonably common in game though. They look pretty good on paper and really cool, and I think they're probably sort of stacking up with the Arrow as my favourite light fighter. I need to be able to play with them, have them in my hands before I sort of give a final judgment. Do I prefer them to that sort of Arrow? And I'm always going to have a lot of love for the Gladius because the Gladius feels like the sort of like gold standard of ships when they sort of test new features. I wonder if we'll see a Banu light fighter in the future, or maybe a medium Tavaran one. Actually, what about heavy alien ships for the Banu and the Tavaran and the Xi'an? But what do you think? Are you going to be picking up a Talon or a Shrike? Are you looking forward to the missile updates? What ships would you like to see in-game? Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What are you shilling for today? I hear you ask. It's the Ridge wallet. If you want a wallet, consider one. Because I needed a wallet, and I wanted to get their forged carbon one. Ooh, it's not haunted. I also like to shill for things and get sponsorships for things I want so I can get them for free. It's an extremely streamlined, durable wallet, and for me that's key because I hate carrying around anything that I don't need to carry around, and I don't want things to break. It has the option of a money clip or strap if you're still carrying money around in 2020. But it can carry up to like 12 cards, and there are a load of cool designs and colours. It's RFID blocking as well. There's a 45-day test drive period and a lifetime warranty as well. The best thing about them is they are not concept or alpha or anything. They are live released wallets, which you can purchase today. Use the code BoredGamer or the links below to get 10% off, as well as free shipping and returns.